YouTube, my name is Legend of DS and welcome back to episode 8 of Can They Be DLC Season 2. This episode obviously focused on Cadence from Crypt of the Necro Dancer. But before obviously we get into the beginning of the video, let's discuss a little bit of a few news bulletins. First things first, the hero is out. So everybody that predicted the character coming out before Evo is redeemed. The character's out. People say is broken. Let's wait and see. I don't know how many times we've gone through this. It's a broken character. Then to turn out like the character is not actually broken. But you know, especially in the first few days of the character being out, it's particularly like difficult to tell if it is or not. Second, today it's Evo. I don't predict anything for Evo, mostly because it's the hero just released. We're not gonna get an announcement for. We might get a direct announcement, maybe, kinda. But even then, I very much doubt it. So, yeah, I guess. And what else? Oh yeah, and just a little bit of a comment before Evo about Evo in the fighting game community. For years, the fighting game community has denounced Smash is not a fighting game, and now the biggest fighting game tournament in the world closes with Smash Bros. And what fighting game fans were saying about Smash fans every year about like they watch their game and then they leave at Evo. It's happening this year with a bunch of people that are watching Evo just for Street Fighter or Tekken, saying those exact same things about their tournament. They're going to see their tournament and then leave. Just saying, a little bit of a hypocritical thing to say. Anyway, today's episode is about Cadence from the Crypt of the Necro Dancer. So, what does Cadence have going for her? Well, first things first, I'm going to say this. I am almost 100% sure that somehow, someway, she's going to make an appearance either in this iteration of Smash Brothers or the next. Be it as an assist trophy, not an assist trophy might be for the next game. Be it as a costume, be it as a spirit. I think that's almost 100% guarantee that she's going to make her way into this. For the next game, absolutely as an assist trophy, especially if Shovel Knight gets upgraded to playable character. I see her fitting. As a character itself, there's a lot of things they could do with her. I don't know a lot about Crypt of the Necro Dancer, but I do know a lot about, not a lot, but I know a fair bit about Cadence of Hyrule. I've almost beaten that game. I'm in the final stage of that game already in Hyrule Castle. And the game is really effing fun. It's a game that it's hard in the beginning. Really hard, like you would expect it. But it gets progressively easier. I didn't particularly find any of the bosses to be particularly hard except for one. I'm not forgetting the name of it. It's the boss in, not Gerudo Valley, Death Mountain, I think. That's the area. Could be wrong. I think that was the only boss that really gave me any issues. But there's a lot of things I could use from her or from both of her games. The only thing I kind of will find tricky, it would be making her a character, given her rhythm-based movement, but you never know with Smash. Obviously, they couldn't translate the rhythm-based perfectly, so maybe as an assist trophy, she would fit right in by doing exactly that, being an assist trophy that moves to the beat of the song, which would be really interesting to see. Or maybe she has a bar, even as a playable character, in the game. It would be like if you perform a move, it will be you will always perform a move and they'll always have the same base damage. But because you have a beat at the bottom of the screen, you could have basically probably not for the beat of the song that you're playing, because then it would require you to know basically all of the songs in the game or to be in tune with the song as well as you're playing Smash. Maybe if you perform it on time, on beat, maybe, and probably this wouldn't work too well. In a fighting game, you get a bonus, but maybe but the character would still work without it. I think that would be the funny thing. But I don't think she will be in this iteration of Smash, playable or otherwise. Maybe otherwise, playable, not assist trophy, not a spirit, and as a costume, definitely, especially if Shantae makes it in. Well, I wouldn't say definitely, but I could see it making it in as a spirit or a spirit, or Jesus, my brain is freezing up, or a spirit or a costume, especially if Shantae makes it in, because the way I'm seeing right now, the DLC is going to be character 4 is going to be one of two things: either a really hyped character or a character that will bring in the hype, or a character that will level out the hype, because right now most of us are predicting to be a third-party only show for the DLC. So if it plateaus, I could see 3 characters in Shantae, Crash Bandicoot, and Monster Hunter. A character that would elevate to be bigger would be like Doom Slayer, and yes, I'm expecting Doom Slayer to be as hype or more than Banjo and Kazooie, mostly because it's another one of those what the fuck just happened things, because like most people were already predicting a lot of the stuff that happened in Smash Ultimate, but we still got a lot of hype for it. So even I'm predicting like Doom Slayer will be like, what the fuck just happened? No way is this happening. But it will be interesting. I think that if Shantae makes it in, I could definitely see her as, maybe not as a spirit, but then again, kind of as a spirit. Maybe like you work with a bunch of indies to make them have spirits in the game, and Cadence being one of them. Maybe even costumes would be really interesting to see. So yeah, that's basically it for Candace of Hyrule, or Cadence, not Candace of Hyrule. So anyway, let's move on to the comments, which we have a lot of them to go through. We have 8 from the Shantae video, which had 75 views last time I checked, which beat the previous week, which was very cool. Thank you very much for that. We also have comments from games for the Hero presentation, the reaction to it, the Crash Bandicoot episode, and the Doom Slayer episode. So let's start off with Terry Severinson, which this week has 2 comments, one being the one in the Hero as well. So first one is, Trigger Inc. is the anime studio that made Shantae 5 opening. If Shantae does end up being the 4th or 5th fighter, I could see me costumes based on Risky Boots, Sky, Bolo, Rudy Toops, I forget how to pronounce her name now, Rudy Tops, I think that's it, and maybe Paddy Wagon from Mighty Switch Force coming out alongside Shantae. Risky would be a sword fighter, Sky, Bolo, and Rudy Toops would be brawlers, Patty would be the gunner, and there's a bug in my face. In regards to Cadence, I could see her being a Mii costume. That's how I feel. For this game, I don't think it's weird with her, but the costumes are all great choices actually that you just gave, and would be great. It just depends, like, we don't have a consistency in numbers now, so because like with Dragon Quest, we just got Dragon Quest costumes, not Square Enix as a whole. So I could see Nintendo bringing in more indie costumes, even to gauge like interest in indie characters going forth for the next Smash game would be interesting. Then, and yeah, Trigger Inc. That's the one. I believe they're a big studio big studio when it comes to anime. I think, could be wrong on that, but I heard it was. They have been, and it would be really cool to see. And even maybe even her trailer will be made by the same studio, because there's no guarantee all trailers will be CGI or 3D CG, and not just character animation, because like Joker was basically 2D animation, so it would be interesting to see her in a trailer that would be 2D. Then Tukai Vodas said, I need to take off something first, in before Thunder Chas Productions, in before Smashify, in before Scissorman, and now I can peacefully engage, having done a good deed, reads description. Well, now in before Shovel Knight Elitists 2. Well, the description, I think I said it was one of the most proficient or most popular and longest standing, which is not really a dig at Shovel Knight. Because Shovel Knight also, while one of the most popular, is just not one of the longest standings. He had 1 game and 2 expansions, so I don't think that's really a dig on Shovel Knight. And I hope that Shovel Knight fans did not take it as that. I know Smasher Fire, but I don't know Thunderclap Productions or Thundering Chas Productions or Scissorman. Did they also talk about Shantae, or did like videos about them? Because like Smashify was the RT Omni series about making characters into a Smashified version of them, and SM Studios responded with, share that with me, probably because of the in befores. Then again, Tuki Vodas. Alright, so I finished. You mostly talked about other characters here. I don't have anything relevant to say now. Hopefully she'll make it in next. She'll be in next time, if not now. If there will be a next time, there'll definitely be a next time. Sakurai or not, Smash is not going to die. And I'm betting that every game going forward will be a Smash Ultimate Part 2 and then Part 3. And I'm also talking about other characters, I think because A, of the comments, and B, because, you know, I already had done like a 40-minute video on Saturday before I got sick and the video got corrupted. So I really was like, I can't. It's like, I don't feel up to it. But at the same time, I wanted to do it. So it was a conflicting of it, especially with still being sick. I cut there. I was saying maybe because of how long I talked about Shantae the previous day or previous two days before, and then the sickness. Maybe my brain was like, you talked already about this, so it got shortened it a lot. Then Terry Servetson on the Mr. Sakurai Presents Hero reaction said, with the fact that Geno Me costume doesn't seem to be returning, and those two Super Mario RPG songs were copyrighted by Nintendo. The one YouTube channel got copyright struck by Nintendo with two Super Mario RPG tracks. I think Sakurai and the team have big plans for Geno. I could see now two things. I could see a Smash Pack 2, which would be great with Geno being the easy one, or the easing into it, the freebie. Like I said, it makes perfect sense going from a third-party fighters pack to a first-party fighters pack, having the base of the same thing of like this game, like a first party owned by a third party would be very interesting. And also, it could just be like they just wanted to do Dragon Quest costumes only. It's a very weird situation. I hope for the first part, hopefully, mostly because it'll be really, really cool to see a second Fighters Pack. And maybe using the Fighters Pack to transition into the next Smash game would be really, really cool to see. Like utilizing the development of the Fighters Pack 2 for the next Smash. Then Richard Unit said Shantae for Smash, and then Tsuki Voda said Shantae for Snash, and Cosmic Cougar Shantae for Smash. Not really much I could say that, but hey, yeah, Shantae for Smash. I completely agree. Then we would have Super Video Gamers 360 saying I'll prefer Crash to Spyro. I would too. Mostly because I know more about Crash than I know Spyro. I have the Insane Trilogy on the Switch, and I think it's gonna happen, honestly, right? It's difficult to say who's gonna happen. There's so many characters that could happen. And again, if they go with the leveling out, the character 4 hype, I could see Crash alongside Shantae and Monster as the leveling up hype characters. Then back to the Shantae video. Oh, that one was for the DLC episode 12 of season 1. Then Anthony Yoki Donis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay. I do not doubt that this character does not reach the Smash, but it is a spirit if it's already known that he is like a spirit, and although Nintendo supports the indies games, it is not enough for him to join the Shantae roster. Although he left in the Game Boy Color and it was one of the first indie characters, will not reach the most famous Nintendo characters and the most important sagas. And the opening of Shantae 5, the window of her, if it was always like that, but it never was the shape of the Smash logo, I honestly feel offending the Smash fans, but the Shantae fans, but it's just a coincidence. I'm also a fan of her, but her chances to enter the roster, there are very few. Okay, so first things first, in the beginning you say he, but then at the end you say her, so I think it was a misspell, hopefully. And I don't know, she might, she's one of the first indie characters that will not reach the most famous Nintendo characters and the most important sagas. You could say the same thing about Joker and Bayonetta, and they're still in. And Bayonetta has a very specific case going for her, while Joker doesn't. But still, you know, she's one of the most requested characters. I don't think spirits determine anything. I feel like the thing of spirit, it's only a thing. We can never say it deconfirmed anything. Have her over having Shantae. What was I going to say? I got confused there for a second. I don't remember what I was going to say, so I cannot respond properly. So I apologize. What was I saying? That Bayonetta got into a specific case. I lost my train of thought, now I cannot recover it. I'm so sorry. Being a spirit only means something if Sakurai actually comes out and says yeah, we decided on spirits, and then we said whomever's a spirit, it cannot be DLC. And like Sakurai literally says, Nintendo gave me a list with Shantae on it, and I was like, no, Shantae is a spirit. Then okay, but until then I feel like the spirit thing is kind of dumb in a way. And finally, after another cut, River Raptor said, hope it's Dragonborn. Adding Doom Guy over him is like adding Joker or Bayonetta before Sonic. As a Sega rep, I have to kind of denounce that in a way, because I don't see the correlation. Doom Guy, or Doom Slayer, is an older character and also very well known, and as of right now, like, I feel like he has a very high chance of making it in, because, you know, not only is Doom 2016 on the Switch, Doom Eternal is coming on the Switch, Dooms 1, 2, and 3 are on the Switch, and I believe Doom 64 has been rated for PS4 and PC, which probably means that the Switch is next. With Switch and Xbox One are also gonna get it, and like Dragonborn, unless I'm mistaken, is just from Elder Scrolls 5, which, or it's a big game for Bethesda. I would say Doom is much more, it's not like this the mascot for Bethesda, but Doom Guy, Dragonborn would be in a way, but like Doom Slayer also has the fact that he is the face of shooters in a way. He is the granddaddy of shooters. But I feel like it's up in the air who would be between those two. It's a coin flip. I would prefer Doom Slayer because variety in a roster, I would say, and also to look a little bit more different than Dragonborn, because he would have a unique look, unless Master Chief also makes it in. But he would have a unique look to himself. While Dragonborn, although unique in his own right, it kind of meshes well with other characters already in the Fighters pack. I'm not the guy that will be like, oh, we have too many sword wielders and no sword wielders or something like that. But I would look at the character select for the Fighters pack, and we'd be like, Joker has a dagger, the hero has a sword, Banjo-Kazooie, not a sword, but a bird, and bird as a weapon, sure. But then like the Dragonborn could in theory have a sword as well and a bow and arrow, which kind of, I don't know, I don't like doing that, but I have kind of to do that. Anyway, that'll be it for this video, because, and again with another interruption there, I apologize for the cuts. Then there's really nothing I can do. But anyway, this will be it for this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. And next week's episode will be revolving around a character, or really basically a series, but we will cover I'm an idiot. Dark Souls. That's the series. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been much of yes. See you guys next time.